Let's see here. Stream. One. There's the bot. Looking as it should. Streams on. Chats on. Audio's working as it should. Alright. We shouldn't have to wait long. Double check the attendance. Can't quite remember how much we're set to have. Attendance. Set to have 16 plus 4. We're meant to have a full grid for tonight. Good. Haven't had a full grid in ages. What a racetrack to have it at as well. One of the best. One of the very best. Oh. Need to warm up. It's chilly today. Been hot all week. And then today, oh, it's going to rain. It's going to drop all the way down to 16 degrees. It's been in the 30s all week. Suddenly the temperature's been cut in half. It is Interlagos time, Brody. One of the best. One of the best LA Kryptonic. Oh, the race I'd love to watch. The Brazilian Grand Prix. I really do regard this circuit as one of the greatest. In Formula One, there's sort of your greatest four tracks being Monaco, Monza, Silverstone, and Spa. I honestly think, though, after all this time, Interlagos has to join that list. It really does. I feel like Suzuka has also earned that right. Interlagos, the amount of great races that have happened right here. So many of them. So much history. Thankfully, here in the virtual world, the racing quality is just as good. So I'm quite hopeful. Or at least something pretty entertaining for tonight. Lauren from the wind. Hello, Johnny. Oh. Full missing. We're set to have a full grid. Full missing. Check attendance again. Who are we missing? Beth Haas is in here. So Cleveland? Yeah, he's in. What are the reserves? Cow? Cal doesn't appear to be in the lobby. Orlando was. I saw his name. Harris? Harrisplex. Harris doesn't appear to be in the lobby. Switchback was. I saw his name. Nice to see him back. After a while. Thanks in. Warren's in. Hunger's in. Zotic's missing. That's 3. Move, Mr. Vidal, Nortex, and Wing It. No, Wing It's in. So that should be the 3 then. 2 reserves, Cal and Harrisplex. And Zotic. That's it. That's who we're missing. Look at all the flags, will you? America's series is diverse. Super diverse. You don't get this over in the Oceanic leagues. All you see is a bunch of Australian flags, maybe the occasional New Zealander one or two drivers from Singapore. They tend to compete in Pacific leagues. Don't see a hell of a lot of diversity. Oh, I wouldn't know, Kryptonic. I don't do EU1 races. But I imagine the Europeans probably have the edge. They typically do. Kind of how Europeans work. Alright, ready up signal has been given, so we're going to be 3 short compared to what the attendance had registered, but that's okay. 17 is still more than enough. Alright, when the timer hits 0, start up the intro as per normal. Hello everyone and welcome to round 11 of the AM1 Championship here on Contest of Speed. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and this time we'll be competing at Autodromo José Carlos Pache for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Interlagos, as it's more commonly known, was constructed in 1940 and has gained the reputation of being one of the very best circuits featured on the Formula One calendar. You can pick almost any year that has featured this legendary racetrack, and nearly all of them will have an interesting story to tell. Whether it be last lap championship deciding overtakes, incredible comeback drives, or weather-affected drama-filled races, this circuit can and will do it all. Thankfully for us, in the league racing scene, it's a characteristic that is shared between the real world and here in the virtual one. The modern design of the racetrack measures up at 2.68 miles and consists of 15 corners and 2 DRS zones that lead into the prime overtaking spots of Turn 1 and Turn 4. They're not the only overtaking spots though, as drivers can also try and pass into the right-handed hairpins of Turn 8 and Turn 10. After the drivers face those corners, they'll have to tackle the most important turn on the circuit. Turn 12, known as Junsao, is a 90-degree uphill left-hander that will determine how fast the driver will go through the flat-out final sector. It's a corner that is dearly important to get right during both qualifying and in the race. But before we focus on this here qualifying session, there is a little bit of news to go through first. From the previous race at Imola, there were a number of incident reports, 4 to be exact, the first of which involved Electric Blade for a request for warning removal, which was granted, so he got 3 seconds removed from his total time. The second incident involved Mindset and Red Devil, an incident that we actually saw on stream that happened at Variante Tamburello. The result, or the verdict from that, was a 10-second time penalty and 2 penalty points to Mindset for an unsafe rejoin. There was another incident involving Mindset during qualifying where he used a set of intermediate tyres. As per Contest of Speed rules, drivers aren't allowed to do that. So he was given an extra 10-second time penalty and an extra penalty point for that. Oh. Actually, no, he just got 10 seconds for the penalty. I had to reread this. He also got a 3-second time penalty on top of that, plus 1 penalty point for not providing footage by the steward's request. The fourth incident involved Red Devil and Harris Plex. The verdict from that was a 3-second time penalty and 1 penalty point for Harris, but Harris ended up not finishing that race, so ultimately it didn't really affect him. Mindset has been disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane. He's coming out to pit lane as I speak, as Badfast leaves the session. So what, did Mindset come to a dead stop and disqualify himself? Did he loop it round? Not terribly sure, but he'll be starting from plumb last for this Brazilian Grand Prix. Oh, there he is. You can see a broken front wing on that Haas back there. That was the Haas of Mindset. Ooh, and that was that Badfast? Badfast has been disqualified for being parked in a dangerous location. So 2 drivers gone already. Is that all about? And I think Silkweaver's going slow. He is going slow. He's just getting out of the way. What a strange beginning to qualify. And my toes, I suppose. Keep an eye on everyone. We'll just quickly finish the news. With the penalty removal, Blade moves from P8 to P7. And with the 23 seconds worth of penalties, Mindset would move from P2 to P6 in the final results. In the Drivers' Championship, it is Vermoo who is leading the way on 182 points, followed by Silkweaver on 121. It's a seriously big lead, 61 points between the top 2, as Vermoo jumps to the top of the board with 1 minute 8.001. Ooh. Decides to explore the runoff area through the center S as well. Saint is P3 on 107 points, followed by Red Devil on 84, and Kryptonic rounds out the top 5 on 80. In the Teams Championship, it's Mercedes leading the way on 255. They've got a 110 point margin over Haas, who are on 145. AlphaTauri are next on 130, followed by Red Bull on 115. And then Ferrari rounds out the top 5 on 94 points. Orlando's retired from the session. Orlando, Ferrari, he's done that at turn 1, looking at the dot on the racetrack. So 3 cars out already, we're down to 14. What a peculiar start to qualifying we're having here today. We're right on board here with Red Devil, give you a tour of this 2.6 mile racetrack. Into the center S, turns 1 and 2, 3rd gear, short shifts up to 4th as we head towards Curva du Sol, turn 3. Onto the Retroposta, DRS wide open, shifting into top gear. We'll head towards Descida do Lago, turns 4 and 5. 4th gear through here, back on the power, 5th gear, 6th gear. Heading up the hill now towards Ferradura, turn 6 and 7. 6th gear. Nice and easy. Heading into the hairpin at turn 8. Down into turn 9. 2nd gear, short shifts up to 3rd. 4th gear. Up into 5th, and into the hairpin at turn 10. Short shift. Oh, he went up to 4th and back down to 3rd. Down through turn 11, a very tricky left-hander. Up towards turn 12, Junsao. Important to get this right, because it's all flat out from here to the finish. Through turn 13, round turn 14, and up towards turn 15. The final corner on the racetrack. DRS wide open. Will cross the line to set a 1 minute 8.685. 3rd fastest for the Williams driver. You got to admit though, between kilometers per hour and miles an hour does sound nicer to say. It rolls off the tongue a lot nicer. That might be because I've watched Top Gear all of my life. So miles an hour, comes nicely off the tongue. But on top of that, considering this is meant to be an American tier, it seems only fair that we have it in miles an hour and not kilometers an hour. So, as Mr. Duval invalidates coming out of the center S. Easy enough to do. The track invites the driver to cut as much as possible. If you go that little bit too far, the game won't hesitate. It will give you a warning. Mr. Nortec will get by Mr. Duval. Or you go on the grass as well. You'll understeer wide. Not invalidate the time, but a seriously less than optimal start to the middle sector. Up the hill, the Haas getting well out of the way as Nortec almost loses it. So yeah, that was Kryptonic in front in the Haas. It was less than optimal the way that he got out of the way. Had to cut the grass on the inside at turn 6. Nortec maybe a bit spooked by that. He's made a small mistake through Ferradura and, ruined his flying lap attempt. He'll either go back into pit lane, put on another set of tyres, or he'll go for a second run, this time behind Kryptonic. Haas driver currently P6 with a 1 minute 9.134. In order for him to improve position, he needs to improve by 1/10 of a second. A lot easier said than done around the racetrack that's only 2.6 miles long. Open DRS, down the retroposter. He's down by half a tenth. That's not a bad start to the first sector. A little bit wide. Up the hill. Round turn 6. Then 7. Up towards the hairpin at turn 8. That's definitely a potential overtaking spot there at turn 8. If you get a nice run out of the two right-handers before, you can try and dive bomb down the inside heading into turn 8. Similar story here with turn 10. Of course, you don't want to try and Hamilton it. Spin your rival out at the apex of the corner. He's up by 7/10 of a second. That's a massive improvement in the middle sector. One corner remains. DRS open. Building up towards 200 miles an hour as he crosses the line to set a 1 minute 8.514. Third fastest for Kryptonic, just behind Brody, who has invalidated this lap. We've got Saint out on track, heading up towards the hairpin. Oh, a little bit too wide there. Making a mistake at turn 7, the car got unsettled. He managed to straighten the thing out, but as a result he ran wide and invalidated the flying lap. That soft tyre still there. That was from Orlando's Ferrari, crashing at turn 1. I'm guessing he hit the outside wall heading into turn 1. That would be my guess. Maybe he got it in the grass, maybe he wasn't paying attention. Hit the outside wall somehow. Not terribly sure. It's a very awkward place to have an accident. But evidently, as Orlando has proven, it's not impossible. Nice and tidy through the middle sector. McLaren getting out of the way. Up towards the hairpin at turn 10. Bringing it down to second gear. Back on the power. Third gear. Fourth gear. Down the hill through turn 11. Up towards turn 12. Tricky braking zone here. There's no braking boards to help you. Climbing up the hill. Absolutely flat out. Round turn 14. You'll open DRS. Head around the final corner and up towards the line. Nortec will improve. And he will set a 1 minute 8.939. As those two almost come together. Nortec, and that will be Hunger in the Alfa Romeo. He's currently down in P12. Saying he'll be looking to try and put a lap time on the board. Sector 1 yellow flag, so there we go. 7.5 minutes left in qualifying. I was able to see the clock down. He'll go back into pit lane, so won't bother completing this lap. Oh, broke as late as he could there. Knocked the car all sideways on the brakes. Brody will come back into the pits as well. Stubley is currently down to the middle sector. He might be going back to pit lane. Warren going back in. Hunger's invalidated. Wingett, he's on an in-lap. So everyone's in either pit lane or on an in-lap. Although Silkweaver might just be on a flyer. Let's see what the clock says to the middle sector. He's not on an optimal flying lap, but he does appear to be pushing. Let's see what he does. Does he go back into pit lane? He does. Pulls it up nicely. Poor Mr. Nortec out of fuel. Crawling his way round. Stubley. Currently up by 1/10 to the first sector. Appears to be pushing, but he's very low on fuel and he's low on battery too. Clock says to the middle sector, he's up by 29 thousandths. I have a feeling he'll just pull back into pit lane. No, he's going to complete this lap. I've been proven wrong. Up towards the line for Stubley then. And he doesn't improve. Yeah, I'm a tad bit bewildered on that one. I don't know why he didn't come back into pit lane. He was going to run out of battery, and when that happens, you lose a lot of horsepower. The hybrid unit does a lot of work producing horsepower, total horsepower. Not saying that the 1.6 litre turbo is no slouch as Red Devil spins out, parks it nicely in the grass, and rejoins safely. That's less than optimal. Yeah, the 1.6 litre turbo, it's definitely no slouch, but the hybrid unit makes a huge difference. Well, let's see here. Saint would be the next car to attempt a flying lap. Well, let's see what you can do, Brody. If you can pull that off, might not get pole, but you'll probably start on the front row. We'll see what Saint can do. He's been one of a handful of drivers who's been able to get close to Vermeer in terms of outright pace. Be looking to try and start on the front row, give Vermeer a fight. Tidy out of turn 4, round turn 5. Heading up the hill towards turn 6 and 7. Down to 5th gear, back on the power, up to 6. Small lift there at the apex of turn 7. Went very briefly to 95% throttle. Round turn 9. Up towards turn 10, the hairpin. Down to 2nd gear, back on the power, down the hill. Tidy. 51.7 he's done to the middle sector. I haven't really kept an eye on the sector split times. Let's see if it's any good. We'll open DRS, head around the final corner, and the clock will say he's done a 1 minute 8.485. He is 1/1000th of a second off the front row. Brody still in P2, but by the finest of margins. Red Devil up by 39 thousandths of a second. Loses control and spins out again, this time at the entry to turn 11. Ooh. Turning circle in a Formula 1 car isn't particularly good. Had to use the whole width of the road to get it pointed back in the right direction. Warren not on a flyer. What about Mr. Nortec here? He's up by 1/10 of a second. With this sort of improvement, he can jump up to P7 if he can find even more time. Try and challenge Red Devil and switch back in the Williams. Up towards the line. Oh, he does challenge the Williams cars. 1 minute 8.660. Gets in front of Red Devil, who appears to be on an in-lap. He's not using any battery. Either that or he's just trying to conserve battery, conserve fuel, and go for another run at the end of that lap. Switchback getting ready. Kryptonic getting ready. There's 2 minutes left on the clock. Just under 2 minutes. Vermeer heads around the final corner, onto the main straight to begin what might be his final flying lap attempt. Into the center S, 3rd gear. Up to 4th, heading into Curva du Sol, using all of the curbs. On the inside there, at the entry to turn 3, DRS open. Down the Retta Aposta, heading towards the Cedar du Lago. On the brakes hard, down to 4th gear. Up to 5th, up to 6th. Then up into 7th gear. We'll head into Ferradura. 5th, back on the power, eventually reaching full throttle. And into the hairpin we go. Turn 8. Round turn 9, 2nd gear. Up to 3rd. Up to 4th. 5th gear. Into turn 10. As soon as he's off the brake, it's right back on the accelerator. As he goes through turn 11, McLaren gets well out of the way. He's up by 1/10 to the middle sector. Out of turn 12. Round turn 13. With a flat out left-handers of 14. A little bit too much cutting there. And turn 15. Keeps it narrow. Oh, and invalidates the lap. Oh, you're kidding. He cut way too much there at turn 15. He's thrown away the lap. It would have been a 7.8. He's thrown it into the wall out of frustration. Brody's getting ready for a run. Still P2. look to try and improve, cement himself in that second place position. If he can find more time, he can try and challenge Vermouth for pole. Meanwhile, Kryptonic, he's invalidated his lap. Switchback's jumped to second with an 8.416. Red Devil, he's improved. He's done an 8.621. He is currently P6. Electric Blade, he's well down on his PB. Stubbly, he's half a second down on his PB. Silkweaver's up by 0.2 of a second. Around the final part of the racetrack, up towards the line, Silkweaver will set a 1 minute 8.571. He jumps inside the top 10 to P6, to be exact. Brody's up by almost 1/10 of a second, but he loses it at Jun Sao and throws it into the grass. So he'll be starting from P3 then. It won't be a front row start. Stubbly will pull back into pit lane. He'll be starting from 13th position. So there we go. It's Vermouth who will start from pole. Switchback on his return to the AM1 Championship will start alongside him on the front row. Got to admit, P2 down to P5. That's less than 1/10 of a second. That's all it takes, Brody. Just one mistake. Got on the gas a bit too soon and the back end stood out. It happens. It's a tricky corner, turn 12. Very tricky. There's no braking board, so if you don't have racing line, you're basically guessing where to brake into the corner. You have to feel your way through. Additionally, uphill traction zone. A lot of curb on the outside that you can use. If you go that little bit too far, you push the car a little bit too soon, it'll snap out on you and you can spin. Done it many, many times myself. Just be waiting on Red Devil. That should be qualifying over. Results from qualifying. Vermeulen will start from pole position with a 1 minute 8.001. He's almost half a second clear of Switchback in P2. Brody in third, followed by Saint and Kryptonic. Silkweaver P6, followed by Red Devil, Nortec, Mr. Duval, and Electric Blade rounds out the top 10. Hunga will start from P11, followed by Warren in 12th. And we have Stubbly, Wing It, Orlando crashing out towards the beginning of qualifying. He'll start P15. Mindset and Badfast were disqualified, one for blocking the pit lane, and the other for being parked in a dangerous location. They'll start from 16th and 17th, respectively. Alright. An interesting qualifying session, a weird one. Particularly what happened towards the beginning of the session. Just, yeah, 2 DSQs and then a retirement at turn 1. It's not something you typically see. Clear skies here in South Harlow, so we aren't set to have any wet weather for the beginning of the race anyway. And considering I haven't got any messages about it, I probably assume this is going to be a dry race. I do wish at some point that Codemasters add in an update where a spectator can get a weather report from the game. That would be really nice, just so that I know what the weather is set to be, or at least get the information that the drivers can see. I think it's only fair. It'd certainly make my job a lot easier. Yeah, I thought as much, Mr. Duval. Thank you, though. It's been a while since I've done a race here at Interlagos. Bit out of the know in regards to strategy. But considering what the majority of tracks are like, it will probably be a medium hard or hard medium race. Of course, Being Interlagos, there's a decent chance of a safety car, and that will completely change the complexion of everybody's strategies. But I imagine the majority of the drivers right now are either starting on hard or medium tyres. Let's have a look. What do you know? So our front row, we have Vermeulen starting from pole position. He's on the hard compound tyre. Switchback in P2 is doing the same. Brody in third, as well as Saint in P4. Kryptonic P5. Silkweaver in P6. Red Devil in P7. Nortec P8, Mr. Duval in 9th, and Electric Blade in P10. They're all starting on the mediums. Hunger in P11, starting on the hard tyre. Same with Warren in 12th. Stubbly in P13 is on the mediums, as well as Wingett in P14. Orlando, who crashed out during qualifying, is on the hard compound tyre for the start of the Grand Prix. Mindset is doing the same in P16. Bad Fast, starting from the back, is on the medium compound tyre. So that means we have 11 cars on the mediums, 6 on the hard tyre. An interesting mix, especially considering that the hard runners are pretty well spread out. We've got the leading 2, and then we have P11 and P12, then P15 and 16. So we've got 2 at the front, 2 almost in the middle, and 2 towards the back. It'll be very fascinating to see who's got the strategy right for this Grand Prix. We'll get rid of the tyre graphic for now. Bring it back later on when all the action has settled down. Now we better concentrate on the start of this race. Vermeulen will be lining up on the outside, heading towards turn 1. Needs to make sure he gets a pretty decent launch, because the switchback gets a better one. He has the inside line heading into the Center S. All 17 cars lined up, ready to run. Here we go then. Where are the lights? There they are. 36 laps in front of us, 10 red lights. And we are underway here in Sao Paulo. It's a nice start from the front row. It's a nice start from Saint and Kryptonic. They're trying to gain places as they go into turn 1. Down the hill towards turn 2. The midfield trying to sort themselves out. Little bits of contact here and there, but it's all pretty clean after the Center S and turn 3. Down the Retroposta we go towards turn 4. Vermeulen still holding the lead. Brody holding second. Duval and Devil battling away. Collision behind. Mindset drops to last as he runs wide at the Cida do Lago. Up the hill. Oh, it's very tight stuff between Duval and Devil. And around this Saint. He's run into by Mr. Duval. Oh my word, we have a virtual safety car. Saint has been given a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision. I think Mr. Duval has been given the same. Let's have a look. Penalties he has. So Saint finding trouble at the front of the field. Loses a car. He had no control whatsoever of what happened next. Mr. Duval just caught out. Red Bull directly in front of him. Had nowhere to go. Ran right into it. VSC still being used. Mr. Duval's front wing is completely destroyed after that contact. In he comes. A few others are coming in too. Silkweaver's in. Red Devil is in. Mindset and Wingett are in. So it's going to be a double stack for McLaren as we're back under green flag conditions. Here are your top 4 cars. Vermeulen, Brody, Switchback, Kryptonic. It's a 3-second gap back to Stubbly in 5th place, who has Nortec right behind. So a drama-filled start here at Interlagos. 5 cars needing repairs. They all need a safety car to save their race at this point too. They're a long, long way behind. Astonishingly, Saint wasn't one of those cars that needed to pit. So even after all that contact, he didn't get any front wing damage. He might have got floor, potentially. But his front wing was good enough that it doesn't need a replacement. Vamoo setting the fastest lap of the race, unsurprisingly. He hasn't bolted away from these three though, they're still within DRS range. Stubbly a moment, a bit sideways there, coming out of the center S. Nortec right behind, with DRS enabled. There's an opportunity here to go for fifth. Looks to the inside, half commits. If he broke a bit later, a bit harder, he might have got that done. But didn't quite commit hard enough for the move, so Stubbly hangs on to fifth. Right behind him is Electric Blade in P7. Kept out of trouble, he's gained 3 spots. The man who's gained the most, actually it's 2 of them, and they're both Aston Martin drivers. Stubbly from 13th is up to 5th. Badfast from 17th on the grid after being disqualified for parking in a dangerous location, even though that wasn't his fault. He's up to 9th. He's inside the top 10 as Wingett retires in pit lane. He's had enough. Here are your top 4 again. Some more fastest laps being set as DRS is enabled. Down the inside goes Nortec. A simple move with the power of DRS. Badfast gets by Warren as well. Those two are battling away. Badfast gets in front, but he might be vulnerable. Keep an eye on this. Use Blade as our cameraman. Stubbly moves through into P5. He takes a position back. There's Badfast defending from Warren, who goes round the outside. He runs wide. Does he gain the position? Not quite. Badfast is fighting back. Looking round the outside here at turn 6. Warren with the inside line. Had the better position into the corner. Orlando now having a look down the inside. Now round the outside as Saint makes a mistake. Lost control of the car, evidently. Yellow flags were brought out. He's now 3.2 seconds behind. As everyone who's made stops so far after the lap 1 drama. 4 of them still in this race. And there is everyone on the tyres they're on currently. Proper mix-up now after what happened on the first lap. Nortec back down the inside of Stubbly, who's a bit wide, exiting turn 1. Blade going round the outside of 2. He gets in front. Stubbly, a very, very poor opening sector. Brody getting by Vamoo. Vamoo trying to fight back. Contact between the top 2. Up the hill towards turn 6. Vamoo slots in behind. Into the hairpin. Turn 8. Oh, switch back deep on the brakes. Round turn 9. Electric Blade. No, it's Nortec around. And my word, is he around. He's exploring the insides of the racetrack there. He's now just in front of Saint, who made a similar mistake but a few moments ago. Two and a half tenths to gap between the top 2. Vamoo should get back by relatively easily, and does so. They now begin lap 6 of 36 here at Interlagos. Got an awfully, awfully long way to go. I'm looking forward to every minute of it. Brody, I don't think it's close enough to try and get him back. Although he may prove me wrong. Switchback defending from Kryptonic. Kryptonic gets in front and moves into P3. So a nice move there. Switchback on the hard tyre. Doesn't quite have the outright pace right now. Orlando's a bit wide. He's under pressure from Badfast as those two almost made contact there at turn 5. Keep it tidy. Whoa! Warren's car teleported to a different dimension for a few frames there. That wouldn't have given Orlando much confidence. Round turn 10. Down the hill. Warren opening up a small gap. 5.5 tenths. A good car underneath him, and he's continuing to hold that margin. He's dumping the battery though, you could tell on the steering wheel. The green bar on the steering wheel flashing up, using that overtake button. Stubbly getting by Blade. That is for P5 at turn 1. Warren under pressure from Orlando, who goes round the outside. Got a track limits warning for that though, and a 3-second time penalty to boot as Blade gets back by Stubbly. Warren goes round the outside of Orlando. It's that done. P7 is his. So we've got a few battles up and down the field. Got top 4. This 2-car battle for P5. And then this 4-car train battling for 7th position. This is what you see here at Interlagos. Tightly fought battles. Awesome to watch. A bit of a moment there from Stubbly. Locked the rears, lost time. Lit the rears up as well. A corner exit for good measure. Here are your front 4. Making their way onto the main straight. Brody closing the gap up. Does Vermeulen defend? No, he doesn't. But Brody doesn't really go for the pass. He stays in behind the Mercedes. He's playing a patient game at the moment. Orlando down the inside here at turn 1. Warren will fight back. Heading onto the Retta Aposta. That doesn't help things. 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Bad fast. Looking round the outside. Can't quite get it done. Didn't have enough momentum to try and get by the Red Bull. Saint trying to close in on this battle as well. He's only 1 second behind. If he gets involved, we now have a 5-car train. Potentially 6-car because Nortec is right in behind Saint. Brody around at turn 11. Cuts the track. Must have lost control exiting the turn 10 hairpin. The right-hander. Got on the power, lost the back end, and sent it into the grass. He rejoins in 4, 2.3 seconds behind. This is Vermeulen's opportunity now to try and break away from both Kryptonic and Switchback. Oh, but he's made a mistake himself. He was wide through 2. Kryptonic has a chance here to go for the lead. DRS open on the Haas, and he will take it with ease. A crucial mistake there from Vermeulen. It's cost him the race lead. Bad fast. A mistake for him as well, it seems, at turn 3. Vermeulen gets the lead back, down the inside, at turn 6. Wasn't expecting that. Oh my word! That was definitely a mistake. His car wasn't on the racing line at the entries to that corner. He genuinely lost the back end there. The lag exaggerated it, but he definitely made a mistake. Kryptonic must have made a mistake himself. I would have guessed at turn 4 perhaps. Because I thought he would have got that done at the Cedar do Lago. But no, Vermeulen managed to get him back at turn 6. Switchback trying to find a way through. Looking left and right. Does he send it in? Oh, he can't quite send it in. Kryptonic hangs on to second place. 7 tenths between the top 2. Vermeulen should hang on to the lead quite easily here. Kryptonic will close the gap, but not by enough. Brody now 2.5 seconds behind. He'd be kicking himself after what happened earlier. Fighting in the top 4, one small mistake, and now he's down in 4th place, 2.4 seconds behind. And it's going to be a tall order to catch up. He might be able to go faster here through the middle sector, but without DRS, he's losing about 3 or 4 tenths a lap. So you have to work really, really hard through the corners to try and gain that time back. And trust me, it's a lot easier said than done. Battle's not over here at the front. Vermeulen has not broken away. Kryptonic is still right behind. Switchbacks trying to find a way through. Off the circuit is an Alpine. It's Nortec around at the entry to turn 12. Kryptonic, switchback gets in front. Moves through into P2. Kryptonic, is it close enough to fight back? I don't think so. So Kryptonic down to third, switchback up to second. Brody's gained some time back. He's now 2 seconds behind Kryptonic. Nice aerial shot here. Looking down at the racetrack. There's a pit entry up there. Gives you a real sensation of the elevation change around this circuit. There's so much in such a small package here at Interlagos. Flat out high speed sections, tight twisty technical sections, elevation change. All packed into one fantastic package. DRS open on switchback Williams. Closing the gap to the race leader. Not by enough though. Can't attack into the center S, but he can try and line up a pass. He can get a good run out of turn 3. Looking pretty good now. DRS open. Not close enough. He is not close enough. Just needs to keep applying pressure. Try and force the move into a mistake. Mindset gets by Red Devil. Here's the battle for 7th. Orlando. Warren. Hunger right behind. Same with Saint in P10. Round turn 6. Round turn 7. Into the hairpin at 8. Nice to see that this battle is still going. Stubbly's lost ground to Blade. Blade's opened up a margin of 2.4 seconds. Continuing to grow bit by bit. Switchback still not close enough. Low on battery as well, you could tell thanks to the flashing red light. Kryptonic having a look. Can't commit to it. Wasn't quite close enough. Switchback still a bit too far behind. Saint gets by. Moves through into P9. Mindset and Nortec change places. There's another 4-car train. Heading down the main straight. We might flick to that after this. Warren having a look around the outside. Heading into the Cedar del Lago. Oh, it's tight stuff. They get through. Orlando trying to fight around the outside. Warren sends it in. The two make contact. Through goes Saint. He's trying to find an opening. They're side by side through turn 8. Down the hill into turn 9. Saint making wheel-to-wheel contact with the Ferrari. Orlando hangs on to P8. Loses only 1 spot to Warren. It was tight stuff. A hard-fought battle. The most important thing is all 4 cars in this fight are still pointing in the right direction. And hopefully don't have any damage. Top 3. The Moose still leads. He's got half a second in hand to Switchback. Switchback just can't quite get close enough to battle just yet. Ooh, Saint gets by Warren and Orlando. Takes 2 for 1 at turn 1. Warren should be able to get him back though. He won't. He'll turn off the DRS. He doesn't want to battle his teammate. Fair play. Oh, Saint almost undid all that hard work there. You could hear the throttle being lifted off massively as he went onto the outside curb. The back end lost grip momentarily. Had to lift. Make sure the car didn't lose itself. Didn't throw Saint into a wall. Orlando gets by Warren. Warren with some kind of mistake, I would guess, at turn 9. Loses 2 positions. Drops down to P10. Don't think he has damage. His front wing looks alright. Vermouth. Switchback. Change places. Go around turn 2. You can see though, the battery difference. Flashing red lights on the back of Switchback's car. Vermoo was 65%. It's a night and day difference, and as a result, Vermoo gets back through. Puts himself at the front of the field, but he does have that yellow fuel icon. Will fuel be an issue? Heading towards the end of the race. Gonna have to keep an eye on that. Oh, it's Hunger. Out. He's at turn 5. Safety car has been deployed. A crucial safety car. There he is there. The left hand... Oh, it's just these boards. The left-hand front of that car was completely destroyed. Suggests to me that he actually hit the left-hand side wall entering turn 5. That would be my guess. And his car got spat out into the runoff area on the outside. So our first safety car of the race, and you have to pit. You do not have a choice in this. Oh, Brody. Almost getting by Kryptonic there. You have to pit. You don't have a choice in this. If you're on hards, you move on to mediums. If you're on mediums, you move on to hards. You do not have a choice. Staying out is quite possibly the worst thing you can do. Put yourself a pit stop behind everybody if you stay out. You got a box. Saint, well, that's a telltale sign. Broken front wing on that Red Bull. Yeah, he served the 5-second penalty. That was for the collision at the beginning of the race. And then further back, but yeah, he evidently got caught up with Hunger's incident. Completely destroyed the front wing on that Red Bull. I'm going to take a stab at this. Work out the incident. I think Hunger was in front of Saint, because Saint jumped in front. I think. I'll have to check back on the stream. But potentially the two drivers hooked wheels and sent each other into the inside wall at turn 5. Ultimately resulting in Saint getting a broken front wing and Hunger actually retiring from the race. That would be my guess. Front wheel to rear wheel contact. You know what happens when open wheel cars hook tires. I think that's what happened, and they sent each other into the inside wall at turn 5. That would be my guess of what happened there. Shame I didn't quite pick it up, because there's so much action going on up and down the field. I want to try and capture everything. But ultimately you don't know when the drama begins and when the drama ends, so you kind of have to rely on luck to hopefully capture all the interesting tidbits. It'd be nice at some point if Codemasters added in a replay feature similar to what they have in Gran Turismo. In GT you can hook up a keyboard, give you a whole bunch of additional bindings, one of which includes a replay feature. That'd be really, really handy to have. The move, saying hello to the safety car there. Saying hello to Third Maylander. And as I said, everyone had to pit. Everyone's on fresh tyres. Evening, BK. What you miss? Well, bit of battling here and there, as you would expect with Interlagos. But with what happened here, I believe Saint and Hunger came together at turn 5, which ultimately resulted in Hunger retiring from the race. And that brought out a safety car. The majority of the field hadn't pit at that point, so everyone's made their stop. Everyone who was on hards has moved on to mediums. And everyone who was on mediums have moved on to hards. Vermoo has taken off. And that's a great restart. Switchback's been caught napping. He's under pressure from Kryptonic already. We're back under green flag conditions here in Sao Paulo. Switchback trying to hang on. Brody going down the inside. He takes P3. Bad fast, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as we head on to the Retro-Aposta. Stubley, Warren, side by side into Descida do Lago. Stubley hangs on. Bit of shenanigans on the restart, as you'd expect when the field bunches up. The switchback was well and truly caught napping. He's done well to recover a bit of lost time as Orlando and Badfast are battling away through turn 9. Mindset wants to try and get involved, wants to try and recover. What happened earlier in the race? Down the hill. Round turn 12. All line astern. Awesome. Awesome curb cam. Mindset close. Looks. Sends it in. Gets it done. Stubley and Warren are battling as well. The Mindset gets in front of Badfast. We'll go on board with cameraman Orlando. Keep an eye on Warren. Has a look. Has another look. Has another look. Goes down the inside. He had 3 looks there heading into turn 4. He sends it in and moves up to P6. And from that, Orlando's trying to go around the outside. But can't quite get it done. Oh, Warren, bit wide. Down the inside, Orlando sends it in. Makes contact. Makes contact again. Stubley's been balked. My word. Because now he's under threat from Mindset. Down the inside at turn 10. Moves through. Mindset moves up to P8. Gee whiz. Yellow. Yellow. Who brought out the yellow? It's Red Devil. Seems that Silkweaver's involved too. I think someone got a penalty and then Vermouth's fastest lap took that away. Who got a pen? No one got a pen. Okay. Saint gets by Nortec. That's for P11. Vermouth has got 1.7 seconds to switch back. Who has got 2.3 to Brody. Those medium tyres have switched on beautifully. Orlando. Warren. Oh my word, this looks like an angry pack. Round to Cedar do Lago. Mindset looking around the outside. Couldn't get it done. He's now under pressure from Stubley as we head up the hill towards turn 6. The Aston Martins looking threatening. Trying to find a way through. Can't find it yet. They're all line astern. Heading round turn 8. There's Orlando, Warren, Mindset, Stubley, Badfast and Saint towards the back of the queue. All line astern. Not battling for position just yet. They will battle though. They definitely will battle for position. Just not yet. Warren low on battery. Down to 3%. Down to 1%. Down to 0%. He's got no battery left. Mindset closing the gap up rapidly as Kryptonic moves through into third. Warren actually hangs on without battery. Impressive. That Red Bull must be seriously quick down the straights. Brody with DRS now. Can he find a way back through into third place? Where will he look? To the inside. Heading into turn 4. He gets in front. There we go. A hard-fought pass, but he made it work. I think contact was kept to a minimum. Ooh! Blade almost center punch Kryptonic there. Kryptonic got on the brakes pretty hard. Blade managed to react just in time. Oh, I reckon there were pixels. Just a couple of pixels between Blade's front wing and Kryptonic's gearbox. As Drip's Mindset sets a new fastest lap. Oh, he's actually been passed by Stubley round the outside at turn 11. Through Junsao, turn 12. Oh, a bit wide there for Mindset. He drops down to P10. Saint having a look down the inside. Oh, Mindset's all over the place. Blade moves through into 4th. Kryptonic fights back. Warren gets a 3-second time penalty. Look at this group. My word. The amount of fighting going on. Stubley down the inside, moves through into 7th. Warren tries to fight it. Stays in front. Saint gets by Bad Fast. Or I think that's Mindset under pressure from Nortec. Oh, and around, my word! It's Saint again at turn 6 again. Thankfully for Mr. Duval, he didn't run into him. Saint moves down to 15th position after that spin. Dearie me, that's the second time he spun. Spun on the opening lap and spins on lap 22. Yeah, everyone's using their battery ban. They're not saving any. Switchback's used it all. Brody's saving it, to his credit. Kryptonic still got a little bit. Blade a little bit. Orlando, a very little bit. Stubley under pressure from Warren. Duval gets by Nortec. That's for P11. And it's all happening everywhere. Nortec a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Warren closes the gap. Not by enough though. Duval. There's Nortec. He had a look. He had a little look. He runs wide. Takes the Verstappen line there through turn 4. Didn't gain any time though. Whoa. Mindset. Had a very average couple of laps. He beaten and bashed around. Seems like by just about everybody. Or a bit wide there from Warren. He's in the grass. Bad Fast moves through into 8th place. Warren slots into the slipstream. Doesn't have DRS though. No one has it. Round turn 1. Down the hill through 2. Round turn 3. DRS there. He's absolutely spent all that battery. Bad Fast has done the same. He's in single digits himself. Everybody's spending their battery willy-nilly. I think the race has settled down at least a little bit. I'll have a look at some of the other graphics. Stubley, 6th position. Bad Fast up 9. Orlando up 9. Mindset up 6, and that's after what happened. That's a few moments ago. He's still up 6 positions after getting a DSQ in qualifying. We're blocking the pit lane exit as Nortec moves through into P11. These two are going to join the fun now. Nortec closing in on Mindset. Closing in rapidly. Has a look down the inside at 1. It's tight. So tight, in fact, Nortec had to cut the track. Gain time again, heading towards turn 4. Not close enough to go for a move. Yellow's out. Is that switchback? It is switchback. Around at turn 7. Oh, he has to be careful with... Oh, he's stuck. He's stuck, look. Oh, and into him goes Bad Fast. Oh, my word, they're taking each other out. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You're kidding me. Oh, my God. Oh, what the... Oh... Oh my goodness. I know Switchback and Bad Fast aren't laughing, but the timing on that is just incredible. Oh my goodness. So Switchback obviously lost it through turn 6 and ended up in the grass. He tried to get it going again, but he got stuck on a little hill. And you could see his rear wheel spinning up, trying to get himself out of the runoff area. And in comes Bad Fast. From stage right, in comes Bad Fast. And he cleans up Switchback and himself. Oh, I know they're not laughing. They're probably thinking, what the hell happened? But, oh my goodness. Oh my word. Oh, the timing. It's the timing that gets me. It's sort of like Switchback's in a really bad position. He got himself stuck. And in comes Bad Fast. I got you, fam. Oh my god. I know, right? Like I said earlier, I tried to capture as much as I can. But when there's a lot going on, you have to rely a lot on luck. On you being in the right place at the right time. Oh, I'm so glad I caught that. Oh, I'm actually... Oh, my cheeks hurt it. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Just the timing of that. Oh, you can imagine Switchback, oh goodness me, I've just thrown away a top 3. And then he realises he gets stuck and here comes an Aston Martin. Bad Fast comes in, I got you, fam. I'll kick you out of this. Oh my word. Okay. I need to stop giggling. I need to focus on this. So, everyone's made pit stops again. Fair enough as well. You don't want to be stuck on old tyres. You want to have nice, grippy tyres. Especially with the number of laps to go, you want to be on softs. A few drivers are on mediums though, and that's probably because they've used up all their soft tyres during qualifying, so they've moved on to mediums. Additionally, some of them might not know how long the soft tyre can last. I do think it can do 10 laps comfortably, especially with the lack of fuel everyone has now in their cars. So, yeah, the soft tyre, I think they should do 10 laps pretty comfortably. But for the medium runners, which are Brody, Orlando, and Warren, they don't have to worry about tyre life at all. They can send it as hard as they like and really lean on the tyre. But I do think the soft should make it. The soft should make it pretty easily. Alright. I'm going to turn that off for a bit just to improve the viewing space, and we've got to get ready for the restart. Now, Vermeulen left Switchback in the dust. Brody will be looking to stay on Vermeulen's gearbox for as long as possible. Vermeulen takes off, heads around the final corner. Not the best of restarts for Brody, but it was better than what Switchback did, so that's a plus. We're back on the green flag conditions. Kryptonic under attack from Electric Blade, who goes round the outside heading into the center S. And coming out of it, he gets in front. Vermeulen gets a time penalty. And that might be a very important detail to keep an eye on. Mr. Duval gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Down the Reta Aposta into Descida do Lago. 2 wide action. Mindset gets in front of Stubley. Stubley under attack from Orlando, who's going round the outside. The two almost make contact. Warren tries to follow through. Out of turn 7, heading into turn 8. Duval round the outside. Stubley's getting bullied by everyone. Stubley now on the outside. Doesn't have the traction, doesn't have the optimal racing line until now here at turn 10. Oh, I see why. He's got a broken front wing. He's missing an end plate on the front wing of that Aston Martin. That's why he's struggling. He's got no grip. Or Saint, Silkweaver, side by side, heading up the hill out of Junsao. So we got a battle on for 13th. That's sorted eventually. Then we got a battle on between... Ooh, hang on, no, Stubley's coming into the pits. Zen. Fair enough, he can't really fight with a broken front wing. But realistically now, in order for him to score points, he needs another safety car to come out. So, Because doubly, he was ultimately left with two choices. Either stay out and try and fight for a top 10, which was going to be next to impossible with that front wing, or come in and just hope, pray a safety car comes out. Hello, Buster. Yeah, I'm doing alright. Race has been pretty good so far. It's been very entertaining to watch. Through the middle sector, Blade now holding second position, 1.5 seconds behind the race leader. If he can stay within that 3-second gap, which will be tough because Vermeer is very, very fast. He could win this race, but he needs to make sure he doesn't get any time penalties as the round goes Brody. Flicks it back in the right direction. He tumbles down to P12. The same mistake, exact same mistake that he made in qualifying. Nortec, Warren side by side. Warren on the mediums, Nortec on the soft tyre. Nortec using whatever battery he's got left. He needs to send it round the long way at turn 1. He gets in front and he takes a position at turn 2. Warren, Red Devil under pressure. Saint going round the outside. Both cars have DRSs. Warren follows Nortec. He's looking round the outside, heading into turn 4. Gets the car in front, but with the extra grip of those soft tyres, Nortec hangs on to P7. Up the hill, Saint looking down the inside of his teammate. His teammate leaves the door open. Or left it open long enough that Red Devil's having a look down the inside. Warren, though, deep under brakes there at turn 8. Made sure Devil didn't commit to a move there at the hairpin. Alright, neat battling. Very, very neat. Nortec, he's going to have his hands full. Saint, he'd be looking to try and finish in the top 5. He'll get in front of Nortec. He'll probably let the penalties do the talking after that. But a fair few of them. All the drivers with 3 seconds. Mr. Duval with 5. Warren with 6 seconds worth of penalties. Looking around the outside at turn 1. Because Nortec was compromised at the first turn, Saint is a lot closer now. He'll be able to get the move done heading towards turn 4. There we are, P7 is his. And he now has 2 seconds of clear track as Warren gets another penalty. Ran wide at turn 4. He now has 9 seconds next to his name. Yeah, like I said, Vermeer was going to be very, very tough to keep up with. The gap's increased to 3.4 seconds. Blade, he'd be hoping to finish on the podium at least. It'd be a really nice for him, really nice result for himself and for the team as well, with Ferrari. Up the hill. Through the flat-out final sector. Back onto the main straight. Mindset finding himself in 4th place, potentially fighting for a podium. Kryptonic moves through into P2. Mindset follows through into P3. Blade can't get too flustered. He just needs to stay with these two. Utilize the power of DRS. He needs to time his attacks as well. He can't get to the front of this train too soon. Otherwise, he'll leave himself vulnerable for the final couple of laps. Saint and Nortec battling away. Warren closing in as well. Saint's out of battery. In fact, these guys have battled each other so hard. Duval's pulled away. He's now 2.3 seconds in front. That's helping Mr. Duval, considering he's got that 5-second time penalty. The track is becoming progressively darker. The clouds have arrived. It's properly overcast here at Interlagos. Duval keeping Orlando honest. Might try and go for a move perhaps into turn 1. We'll see a move here between Mindset and Kryptonic. Now, Mindset, his chances of finishing P2 are quite low as Mr. Duval moves up into 5th. He needs to build up a 3-second margin to both Kryptonic and Electric Blade. It's going to be quite difficult to do. As Brody's retired in pit lane. Well, what a shame. He put together a pretty good race. Very good qualifying as well, starting on the 2nd row. See it end up with a retirement in the pits is, yeah, not what he was looking forward to. After demonstrating a lot of pace here at Interlagos. Blade losing ground, as I was mentioning earlier with Mindset. Mindset needs to be thinking about finishing P3. Needs to build a margin to Electric Blade. And at the moment, the gap's sitting at about 1.3, 1.4 seconds. Further back, Mr. Duval and Orlando. Yellow's out. That's because of Stubley's not Stubley, because of Brody's AI. Saint, Nortec side by side into turn 1. Nortec going around the long way. Now has the inside line at turn 2. Tries to get in front at 3, but can't quite get it done. Nortec with a time penalty. Now has 6 seconds next to his name. Saint moves into 7th. Red Devil tries to move through. He makes contact with Warren, sending each other into the wall, down the Retro Aposta. Red Devil thought he was clear of Warren. He definitely wasn't. The two hooked up and sent each other into the inside wall. Warren now with damage on that front wing. With 2 laps to go, his chance of finishing in the points has gone out the window. The Devil tried to take 2 for 1, heading into turn 4. He just wasn't clear of Warren. Saint a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Nortec, you'll line up a pass here down the main straight. The RS wide open, didn't need to use any battery. Oh, and Red Devil closes in big time under brakes. We head around Curva du Sol and onto the Retro Aposta. DRS open. Saint closing the gap, not by enough. Plenty of battling up and down the order. In your typical entertaining Brazilian Grand Prix. But no one's challenging the leader. The battle on for P2 here between Kryptonic and Blade. So long as Mindset stays in front of Kryptonic and gives his teammate DRS, Blade shouldn't have any massive opportunity to try and get by. The Mindset doing his teammate a huge favour here. As we now begin the final lap. Lap 36 of 36. Here at Interlagos. Orlando gets by Mr. Duval. Yellow. Oh my word, it's the race leader! The race leader's made a mistake at the beginning of the final lap! Oh my goodness me! He's thrown it away! He has thrown it away! The battle for the win now is between Kryptonic and Blade. Oh, can you believe it? It was such a simple task. All he had to do was one more lap. He's thrown it. So Kryptonic now has an opportunity here. A huge one, as a matter of fact. This could be his first win of the season right here, right now. Making his way around turn 10, down the hill. Towards 11. I cannot believe that. I cannot for a moment believe that. Vermouth's thrown it away. Mindset dragging his teammate along to victory lane. It's Kryptonic Swang who wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Blade will come home in second and Mindset will finish on the podium. Ahas 1-3. Vermouth 4th. He did what Barber did last season, I think it was, at Baku. Threw it away on the last few laps. Vermouth 4th after all that. Wow. Drips Mindset, driver of the day. Here are your podium finishes. And it's not what you would have expected. It's Kryptonic. I reckon he feels like that too. Our race winner of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Unbelievable. The unofficial results then of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Kryptonic takes his first win of the season in dramatic circumstances. Our winner of the Brazilian Grand Prix with Electric Blade from P10 finishing P2. And Mindset on the podium from 16th on the grid. A DSQ in qualifying to finish third. Vermu led damn near every single lap of this race, but faltered at the last hurdle. He finishes in fourth with fastest lap. Orlando fifth, Red Devil sixth, followed by Silkweaver, Saint, Mr. Duval, and our last point scorer is Mr. Nortek down in P10. Warren in P11, Stubbly classified in 12th, and our retirements Brody, Switchback, Bad Fast, Hunger and Wing It. What a weird, wacky, and just straight up brilliant Brazilian Grand Prix. I love this track so much. Right when I began commentary, all the way back in 2019, I regarded Interlagos highly, but I regarded it even more when I started commentating, because the races that you see here are just brilliant. The circuit allows for side-by-side racing, damn near at any part of the racetrack. It creates drama. It creates tight qualifying because it's not a big lap. It's only 2.6 miles, so qualifying is usually tight. There's always rain. There's damn near always rain here at Interlagos. It is incredible. It is incredible what we saw here today at Interlagos. So much drama, so much action, controversy probably, and some funny stuff as well. With what happened between Bad Fast and Switchback. My goodness. That was something. That was a Grand Prix and a half we witnessed today. Your typical Brazilian Grand Prix, just excellent. Loved it. Congratulations to our top three. A massive congrats to Kryptonic on your first win of the season. But I think, folks, with everything said and done, it's now time for us to end the stream. I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for round 12 of the AM1 Championship at Silverstone Circuit for the British Grand Prix. Until next time, it's goodbye.